Well, happy Monday. Good morning to you, and welcome to the Real Monica Adams Show. Are you having a case of the Mondays? We're going to be real and tell you what's been happening with us today, but it all worked out, and here we are, and we have a smile on our face. When things like this happen, what do you do with it? I always wonder, do people go into freak out mode? Did they get stressed out? Do they have anxiety attacks? My team, I want to thank Gabriel and Hayden and Zach, my husband, also trying to come in and help out. There was a power surge here at the building. And so for the first, 35, 40 minutes of us trying to get the studio set, there were no lights. Everything was chaos. It could have been, but we all just came together and made it happen. And that is truly teamwork. So that's what our Monday started out with. Well, let me know how yours is going. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? My poor dog yesterday tried to jump on the bed, fell off. She's hobbling around. This is what's gone on in our last 24 hours, hoping it's a sprain and that she didn't break anything. But my poor baby, I was like, prop that foot up. And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? So I took her little foot and put it up on a pillow. Whether she leaves it there or not, I'm not sure, but it's crazy. What's going on in this world? The sturgeon moon. What did that do with it? Did you see that, by the way? The best time to see it was on Saturday. The sturgeon moon. It was absolutely beautiful. So this is how we're starting the day this morning. We're going to find out what the weather is with our wonderful Beckett Moore. Wait till you hear what happened to him when he returned from Montana. I mean, it really, truly has been crazy in the universe. We've got some news you can use, and then you asked and we listened. You said, bring her back. And we are. Jenny Gabriel with JG Optimal Wellness joins us, and we're going to talk about peri, menopause, the muffin top, all those things. But did you know, guys, you go through this as well. So don't think, oh, this isn't a show for me. Yes, it is. Andropause. Have you heard of that? That's what you guys go through. And we all, both sexes, need to help each other through all of this. So we've got a big show on tap, and we want you to be as interactive as possible. So let's get to it. We're going to kick things off with the weather in a segment we call What the Weather?
Good evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and it is
And as you see there on the bottom, it is brought to you by GradeWorks LLC. I am trying to get Beckett and Mike to be able to meet. Mike Vernacci is the owner of GradeWorks LLC. Very busy right now. They are busy with working with businesses and homes. They were out on the highway just a few weeks back doing all the grading work, excavation work. He was into roofing as well, so they've got those services for you. Don't do it yourself. Let them do it. That is what he does well. GradeWorks can be found at GradeWorksMO.com. That's GradeWRXMO.com. So again, when it comes to any excavation work you need for your home or business, the grading work, the roofing work, they can do that for you. And we appreciate Mike for his sponsorship of our What the Weather segment. And let's bring our aspiring meteorologist on, Beckett Moore. Good morning to you.
good morning. How are you?
So you're just coming back from Montana, and I pulled a few pictures, which looked absolutely stunning, by the way. So you can kind of walk us through what some of your favorite memories were. But holy cow, look at that view. That is stunning. And of course, he also went golfing. I saw that. He's a big golfer and enjoys that. And then tell me, this picture on the right, what are you sliding down there, Beckett?
Yeah, so that's an alpine coaster. It's this really cool thing that I think is pretty new, but it's these coasters that like go down these mountains or hills at these resorts, and it's really cool.
Okay, I thought that's what that was. I did that in Branson, and it scared the living you know what out of me. I thought I was going to fly up over the side. Did you ever feel that way?
A little bit on those curves, yeah.
So
Yeah.
was that one of your favorite things when you were in Montana?
Yeah, I'd say that was fun. Going into the national park was really nice. And then probably my favorite thing was when we went on to Whitefish Lake and we went rented a boat and two jet skis. That was really fun. And it's
And
a
I didn't get
really
a chance to pull the video, but I saw a video of a bunch of hail. What happened?
Yeah, so it did hail right when we were getting off of our rental boat. It started hailing down, so we all had to go on undercover like you should, and it was just crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was absolutely nuts. I was like, "Holy cow, what is all
Yeah.
this?" Well, I want to welcome you back. I mentioned that we had a lot of craziness that happened here in the last 24 hours. You came home to something that wasn't too fun.
Yeah, so when we came home, my sister went downstairs and she saw some water on the floor coming outside of the room where my studio's in. And so then we went down there. I opened the door up and there's this water all over the floor. holes in the ceiling. So we definitely had a big water leak, had to move everything out, and that room's getting worked on now. So hopefully my computer's okay. I think I'll test it up and see if it's good today.
I'm telling you what, it is really I was like, "Is it the moon? What's happening?" It's been a
Yeah,
crazy 24 to 48 hours. Well, I hope there wasn't a lot of damage, and I'm sorry you came home to that, but thank you for your constant dedication to the show because he was like, I'm gonna come to you, and I'm gonna come to you outside the" actually, my team was like, "What's all that chirping?" I'm like, "He's outside, it's the birds."
I
So the
know
birds
every
are singing this morning.
yeah.
What is the weather going to look like? They seem to be happy, but will we be? Let's find out. Here's the weather forecast from Beckett.
Yes, so taking a peek at the 7-day forecast starting out today for your Monday, we do have a chance of showers after 10 a.m., but that's only a 20% chance overall. Isolated showers across the area, 92 as your high with mostly sunny skies today. Tomorrow for your Tuesday, that rain chance does go up to 50% with a 50% chance of showers after 1 p.m., 92 degrees as your high. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 89 degrees, and continuing with those mostly sunny skies throughout the rest of the week, warming up into the lower 90s by this weekend.
All right. Well, Beckett, thank you. It's been really crazy with how hot it is, with all the rain. It's been the hardest summer to try to keep our pool clear. I'm telling you what, it's been
I,
really nuts.
I
It
bet.
is so good to see you back. And you are what, a week or so away from starting school?
Yeah, exactly a week.
Oh, all right. Well, enjoy your last final days of summer before you get back. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
All right, that's Beckett Moore. Follow him, by the way, on X and on YouTube at Moore Weather Official. Does a wonderful job, obviously, for us on the show, but for you as well. All right, we're going to get into some news you can use. And this one is crazy. If you live in our St. Louis area, maybe you heard a bunch of sirens, and maybe you've seen on social media what the heck happened on this turn off Doherty Ferry in Kirkwood. Well, it's one that they say this isn't the first time that it's happened. They turn and then crash straight into a home. This happened again yesterday, and folks are like, oh my gosh, this infamous curve that so many people are familiar with, as you see on that map there. And there's a longtime resident named Nana. She lives along the curve and has for more than 50 years. She said it's far from the first time. This car veering off of Doherty Ferry, plowing through a yard, smashing into the home. Now, here's the good news. The homeowners weren't hurt. The house, though, as you see there on the left, badly damaged. No fatalities have been reported. Neighbors say larger warning signs were added to the curves several years ago, but crashes keep happening. They estimate that there used to be an accident about once a year decades ago. Lately, she says there's been improvements, although it still happens. Maybe poor visibility at night may have played a role into this. They're hoping adding more lighting could help. Just a couple of years ago, the group Safer Streets for Kirkwood launched a petition for road improvements nearby, but residents say those changes weren't made. And they say, of course, you don't want to see this happen to anyone driving a car or anyone in their house. So again, not sure about any extent of injuries, but they're going to have a long time getting that house back to its original condition. I love this story. Barbie dolls make any little girl happy, right? So how about gathering several up and helping those at a local hospital? That's exactly what's happening. Barbie dolls bringing some hope to the patients at a St. Louis hospital, St. Louis Children's Hospital. There was a woman back in 2017 who was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. She's back with a new mission now. Thanks to $7,000 in community donations, this woman, Caroline Gates, is delivering Barbie dolls to patients who share her diagnosis. The dolls, which have accessories and details reflecting type 1 diabetes, are meant to give young patients comfort and connection. And that was in the news just a handful of months ago that they came out with this new Barbie. Their hope is that gifts remind children that they are not alone. The donation also resonating with the hospital's endocrine team. They say it's a great way for kids who have diabetes to teach others about what their diagnosis is and everything that is part of it by using the doll, saying, again, it may look just like a doll, but it's a piece of their story. And they don't plan on stopping this anytime soon. So if you'd like to help her out with her mission, there is a GoFundMe. So I'm going to take the link and put it into the comments for you so that you can help out with her mission, because I absolutely love what she is doing. Isn't that cool? Super cool. Again, and I hope that continues not only in our area, because obviously they're doing it here at St. Louis Children's Hospital, but to be able to do it as well well all across the world. So it's super cool. We also love to give you these stories of hope. We talk about the miraculous things that animals can do, and yet another one saving a man's life. Listen to this story. He says he's my hero, a veteran crediting the service dog, with saving his life, literally saving his life. The veteran living with post-traumatic stress disorder in Colorado says his dog not only saved his life, metaphorically, but literally. This is Hank Ford, and he spends his time at a golf course, and this is in, again, Colorado, but he's never alone. His service dog, 3-year-old Tommy, always by his side. Ford is an Army and a Marine Corps veteran. He served in the military for 20 years. So first of all, sir, thank you for your service. 11 of those years, active duty. He was in Desert Storm and Operation Iraqi Freedom. For years, he struggled with PTSD, but Tommy helped put his life back on course. This past February, he also found out just how strong that bond is. It was in the early morning after his wife went to work when Tommy started barking and jumping on him to wake him up. He wouldn't give up, so the guy was like, okay, maybe he's got to go to the bathroom. He got up. All of a sudden, he noticed that he was dizzy, he was lightheaded, and he was weak. Tommy kept pawing at the owner's chest, and that's when Ford realized his heart rate was out of control, and he rushed to the hospital. The doc said with how bad his AFib was that he probably wouldn't have woken up or would have had a massive stroke. The doctors had to shock his heart back into rhythm, and through it all, Tommy was there. He laid on his chest for hours, and he said, I believe that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Isn't it amazing? Again, a true hero. Dogs Inc., by the way, is a company that trains and places service dogs with people in need, and they actually connected Ford and Tommy 2.5 years ago, and what an incredible bond they made. They just feel that. They feel that something's off. I just think they're just the most miraculous things, and I always talk about the fact that it's dog, right? Spelled backwards, God, our little angels. Let's take care of them. All right, in sports, I've got good news for you. Let's talk about the Cardinals and St. Louis City SC, and an amazing field goal that was kicked that this guy thought was a record, but I'll tell you why it's not. First of all, with the Cardinals, they are in action and they were playing against the Cubs. Did you go to any of the games? Cards beat the Cubs 3-2 yesterday. Now it's the Rockies playing the Cards, 6:45 first pitch. I also have good news for soccer. St. Louis beat Nashville on Saturday, 3-1. Now a City's back in action against Chicago, by the way. That game is Saturday at 7:30. And again, you kick a 70-yard field goal and you figure that's got to be a record. Well, this is what happened for Jaguars' Cam Little in a game against the Steelers. His Jacksonville Jaguars teammates started screaming and scrambling when he kicked the ball, and he couldn't see if it actually cleared the crossbar because there were more than a dozen offensive and defensive linemen blocking his view. Then he heard the screaming and he was like, okay, it must have happened. And then he thought initially it was an NFL record. You know why it wasn't? It's because it was a preseason game. You got to be kidding me. So it was a 31-25 loss, by the way, to Pittsburgh for the Jaguars. So he said, and I quote, well, that stinks. It just means we have to go out there and make it again. Yeah, I mean, holy cow, 70 yards. That is a strong leg. All right, in your National Day of calendar today, Play in the Sand Day. And I know they have sand at the Magic House, so take the kids over there maybe. Global Kinetic Sand Day, National Raspberry Bomb Day, and here, it's for all of us, National Sons and Daughters Day, and then it is National Presidential Joke Day. I don't have any presidential jokes, but if you do, you might want to pass them along to somebody because today is their day. There you go. I hope you're all having a great start to your morning. Hope you're not having a case of the Mondays like we did, but see, at any given point, you're able to turn the day around, and that's what we're doing. We're going to bring her back in. You asked for her. She was here with us just a couple of weeks ago, and now you're going to see her beautiful smiling face on a regular basis. We want to officially welcome aboard JG Optimal Wellness, one of our newest sponsors, and Jenny Gabriel. So you had a lot of questions last time. I have a feeling a lot of questions and comments again today. We're going to talk about the muffin top. And for guys, those love handles, right? Where's all that added weight come from? And what can we do about it? We've got so much to talk about with peri, menopause, all of that, and making you understand you do not have to deal with all of these symptoms. Jenny Gabriel, our guest, when we return. But by the I want 100% raising your hands. I'm here to empower you because you all have intrinsic value. I don't care if someone has told you that you don't. Today we are here to make you believe in yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bonacorsi, and I'm the president and founder of J Bloom. And I chose Monica Adams to be our keynote speaker because of the positivity that she illuminates whenever she speaks. She's an amazing influence and has so much impact on these women that they are going to leave changed.
It's a constant education. Never stop being the leader. If you are given the opportunity to be, and I hate the word boss, by the way, don't we like leader more? Have you all seen that image of a boss shouting behind their team and then the leader out in the trenches? And I know there's a lot of people that are thrown into your paths, and there are people who try to squash your dreams. It could be your partner, it could be your parents, your children, a boss that you've had, but you cannot, from this day forward, I'm going to ask you to not give them power any longer. So we think it, we write it, we hear it. Think right here. Make connections today. Then pave that way. You now have the awareness. So how do you pave that path?
Your message, like at the end, you be anything but before that, be kind.
Yep.
My husband's a pastor, and that every one of his sermons, that's always within it. That be kind.
Yep.
You have to be kind.
It is.
Oh, you're fine.
Look at this. So there's an employee out there who still thinks of you because you were kind to them. Never stop being that leader. By the way, I want to be remembered for this phrase when I'm no longer on this earth. The greatest rewards in life come from the most uncomfortable walk. God meant for me to talk to you. Oh, it's okay. You, honey, have a lot of value. And someone's told you that you don't. And I was meant to be in your life today. I've always said, I have chills. Do we all have chills? God, I say, if you can have me change one person's life, then I have done your job. I'm hoping it's all of you. But see, she's not okay for whatever reason. I don't know your story, but I'm going to tell you they're wrong. And all these women believe in you.
To hire Monica Adams for your next event, email info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com.
And look, see, we even got our fancy intro. Welcome back to the show. It's the Real Monica Adams Show. I'm your host, Monica Adams, and Jenny Gabriel with JG Optimal Wellness came in a couple of weeks ago, and boy, did you love her. In fact, I had so many messages of bring her back. She's really good. Well, we heard, we listened, and here she is. Welcome back, Jenny.
I'm glad to be back, Monica.
You got a fancy intro.
I know. I'm like, what?
You've made it to the big time.
Oh, my goodness.
So you heard us, well, she saw it happening. When you walked in, we were like, hi, it's been fun for the last 35 minutes. And then did you hear what happened with Beckett when he came back from Montana?
No.
Okay, so I didn't think you could. So they came back and the ceiling they had some kind of, I think it was in the front yard, some kind of a break in like a water line or something. And so it fell through his ceiling into his studio.
Oh, great.
So that's why he was outside. I was like, what's going on?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, it's been nuts. So the weekend's been crazy. We were supposed to get together for dinner, and then she's got a family member that wants you to pray for that's not doing well. So yeah, it's not been the best, but that's the one thing is we go into survival mode, and how do you deal with issues in life? You just have to lean on team members, lean on loved ones, and keep going, because we are going to talk about things that are stressors and that just make things worse from a health standpoint. But if you don't center yourself, right, you're just escalating the problems.
Exactly.
So welcome back.
Thank
It's
you.
good to see you.
I'm so glad to be here. So glad.
We've got a lot to talk about. I do want to start with this because we had so many ideas that we were going to talk about a couple weeks ago, but all of you had so many questions and comments, and feel free to drop them in today. If you have anything during the hour of what we talk about, or if there's something else with regards to peri, menopause that you want to discuss, please ask us. That's what we're here for. The main thing that Jenny wants you to know is you do not have to deal with these conditions. And she's got a wonderful Facebook group that will throw a QR code up that you can scan to be a part of, the Menopause Belly Secrets. There you go. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, please scan that and be a part of it. There's like 1,300, 1,400 growing strong. A lot of interaction. She gets in there for you on a regular basis. Also, I want to put on the screen where you can find Jenny so you can follow her on social media and also her website so that you can reach out outside of the show and say, hey, I really want to work with you, because you set up consultations with people just to kind of figure out where they are and to take it from there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a free consultation. You know, get on the phone. We're going to talk about. Well, actually, I like to get on Zoom because I like to see who I'm talking to.
Agreed.
And we just talk about where you're at, what's going on, what's happening. What are you feeling? What's the symptoms? You know, where's your big struggles at? What are your top 3 health concerns? Let's talk about them and then figure out a plan.
Again, and that's what she does really, really well. And one of the things I really love about Jenny is she said, I just want to help women and make you all realize that you don't have to live the way that you've been living. And a lot of you at the end of the last show jumped into that Facebook group. A lot of you called her or messaged her and said, I want to get a consultation. Some of those on the books today, tomorrow.
Yes.
I love that. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. Before we dive deep into Muffin Top, and even we mentioned last time, I had a lot of guys actually that said, what was that word she kept using? Andropause.
Yeah.
Which is something you may not ever, that's what I did right away. I'm like, what? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I never knew it had a name, but we have definitely heard the symptoms. So the symptoms for men are?
Very similar to what women go through. Honestly, they could have hot flashes, they could have night sweats, they could have blood sugar crashes, they could have the belly too, right? Of course, they're usually called the beer belly, I think, for men. But
well, that's what I was going to ask
happens.
you, because if I see it out here for a guy, I think it's more of a beer belly. But when I start to see weight on the side, like those handlebars, is that what they're experiencing?
Yeah, and you really got to be careful with that, because that's adipose tissue, and that's where a lot of toxicity can store. And when that happens, those are things that lead to disease. Okay, those disease conditions. So we really want to be aware of what's going on and make the right steps towards that. So men definitely are going through this, and they're like women. They kind of put it off, not as much as women, but men just put it off as just aging, and it's really not. It's part of their transition as well. Very similar to what women go through.
Do you think they don't talk about it because, one, it's an educational side of never knowing that that's truly what it is, and two, hearing menopause has always been associated with women, so they're not going to want to be labeled as having something that they might consider is a woman's issue?
That's true, because it's been a stigma for so many years for women. You know, we're just now seeing this movement become so massive. That there's more conversation around it than there was before publicly. But at the same token, there's a lot of static with that too, trying to decipher what's real and what's not.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent a couple things to Jenny over the weekend. I mean, there's some comical things out there. They make light of it and then they get deep into it. But I'm seeing a lot of male influencers hopping on because they're seeing, oh, if I'm empathetic, I have more and more people. And I hope they're being real. I hope they really are there for their wives or girlfriends or whatever.
For sure.
But it is everywhere. Everyone's talking about menopause. And again, we need to break it down though, which is why we're doing this show, to say, here's what it is. Here's what makes it worse. Here's what you can do about it. So before we get into all this, can you break down pre, peri, and menopause? How long are we in each of those cycles? Is that across the board?
It's really across the board. I mean, it just depends on the female when she enters, but it can be as young as 35. I think we talked about that on the last show. And, that's a show we can actually dive into at some point, because what we're seeing, and the reason that happens so young in age, is because of the toxicity that's in our environment, in our foods, and the products that we use, just to lightly touch on that. But we see a lot of women in that 45, 55 in that menopause, actually into that menopause movement. And that's when, the estrogen and progesterone levels have dropped. They're seeing way more symptoms with it, versus where perimenopause, they're just starting to see the fluctuation in their cycles and that type of thing. They'll see fluctuations. They'll see some of the same symptoms, but as we go further into menopause, that's when those estrogen, progesterone, testosterone drop. That's when you're starting to see menopause, the real phase of that. And then when that ends is in postmenopause, when you just don't have much there.
Right. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Jenny Gabriel with JG Optimal Wellness. And again, feel free, I've got my phone here. Feel free to ask any questions, any aha moments, any, oh my gosh, I'm dealing with this. Do I have to? Or, what can I do with this? This has definitely in the last 2 weeks caused so much discussion around all the women that are around me. I was getting my hair done. Girls are talking there. The lady that was doing my hair, she just turned 40 and she's like, I couldn't possibly be dealing with this already, can I? And I said, did you hear what Jenny said?
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
They don't want to be hearing that, though, because they believe that it's something that's not going to happen to them for another maybe 10 years or so.
Right. And I always tell people when they talk to me about it, I said, it's like how you want to feel. Like when you're in your 30s, how do you want to feel in your 40s? It's the same thought process with this.
Yeah.
Each decade, you want to be thinking about what you want to be feeling like in that decade, right? I just want to jump back really quick because I didn't fully answer your question, Monica. I apologize on that. It can last. You're never done with menopause, so to speak.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like
wait a minute.
I saw something the other day. I was
Great.
like, yeah. I saw something the other day that said you're really never done. You're just in postmenopause, which means you don't have the symptoms anymore.
So what would postmenopause be?
That would be where you're not having any symptoms at all, maybe not at all. Some, and I hate to say this because it depends on the person again. There are some women that have been in their 70s and 80s and experienced symptoms. Can be
Okay. I'm glad you
symptomatic.
just said that because I have a client who said, she literally said to all the girls who are talking with you, I'm so sorry you all are going through this. I wish I had a Jenny back when I was. And she's like, I'm sure I'm done. She's going to be 73 this week, so she may not be.
Very possible.
Oh.
She could still be having some of those symptoms, actually tested and be in postmenopause, but still having some of the symptoms.
Okay.
That was recent research I just, I just read on. So that was really interesting. But women that are African American are actually in menopause longer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do they say? What's the reasons for that?
Don't know the answer to that.
So still a lot of research. Again, that's what I love about
a
science.
lot of research again. If you watch the M Factor, that was by Tansen Svendal. She talks a lot about it in that documentary, and especially in reference to African American women.
Interesting.
And that they are in it longer, like even 10 years potentially longer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So this is the reason for testing.
Oh, yeah.
And you do these tests. Now, again, there's a lot. You can go to Jenny's website and see a breakdown of the different things that she can do for you. But if someone does a consultation and then you figure out this is the route we need to go, a lot of the people want the HTMA testing that you do. And in that, someone who's in their 60s, 70s, they may find out through that, right? Oh, no, you still are dealing with these symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
HTMA will give me a mineral breakdown, the major minerals in the body, but also ratios of those minerals. And so that can tell me a lot about digestion, because I will tell you a lot of symptomatic stuff can start with digestion that can also cause other symptoms, right? So,
and you're seeing it there, hair tissue mineral analysis.
Yeah.
And I think that when Jenny came on last time, to me, that was the biggest thing that a lot of women were like, yeah, I want that done. I think that's going to answer so many questions for me. And it will, for you, helping them.
Right, exactly. It gives me a directive path. Like, what are we dealing with? Are we, do we have some sugar handling? And that doesn't mean someone has blood sugar problems. It just means they're not eating accordingly to what they need to stabilize their blood sugar throughout the day. And when we spike and crash, which we'll probably touch on here in a little bit, that can cause this issue with cortisol, which causes menopause belly, but it also can cause the same issues with hot flashes.
Right.
That's very correlated directly.
That's exactly where we're going to go with this is, if we're having these symptoms, what are you doing to trigger them and make them worse? What do we need to stay away from? How should we be eating? Is there supplementation that we can take? We have to change our lifestyles. And what kind of things do stress cause for us? And we get it, ladies. You're stressed about a lot of things that you're dealing with. Again, JG Optimal Wellness, Jenny Gabriel is our guest. Again, if you've got comments, I'm going to go to our page, questions or comments, I should say. So you just mentioned, and that's also the page that people can go to. It has to do with the menopause belly. So that muffin top that everybody hates, that is where the weight starts to gather for almost probably a high percentage, if not 100% of women. a lot of times I think that's what I first see and you see it. She said she can literally sit down and see, oh yeah, this person's going through this, whether it's inflammation or you can see the way the body's looking. So is the weight gain? Yes, that picture right there. No one likes that.
Yeah, that is definitely what we call the muffin top. The spare tire, the muffin top. Yeah.
And so the thing is, Jenny, a lot of people feel like, oh, that's me, that ripple, I've got that, and it hangs over the top of my jeans or my pants or my skirt or whatever else. I'm just going to have to deal with this, or I'm going to have to invest in a lot of Spanx.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to stay that way.
No, it does not. And there's lots of things we can do just from a holistic, natural standpoint.
Which again is fascinating to me. Again, so steps to be able to eliminate that. Yeah. Where do you want to start with? Because this is what I can guarantee you right now. Everyone's like, okay, I'm tuned in. It's like E.F. Hutton. She's speaking. Let's listen. So what do we need to do to either start to take it down or eliminate that?
Well, first, I think they need to understand what's happening, what's causing this to happen. So there's a few different things. One is estrogen levels are plummeting. When that happens, our fat storages kind of go to other areas, and that specific area is the belly. Okay. Cortisol levels, when they spike, will also cause this issue to happen. So managing stress is going to be a big proponent of that. Sleep disturbances can also factor into the same issue. So if we're not sleeping well and we're stressed all the time, that's going to cause cortisol levels to be higher, which means that is going to stick right around the belly area when you already got plummeting estrogen levels because you're going through the transition.
Right. And so again, you're seeing menopause belly. What causes that muffin top? Again, we're sluggish. We can't sleep well, blood sugar spiking, and the hot flashes, all these things that you're like, yes, 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 and yes, that's me.
Well, and the blood sugar thing, it's the highs and lows that come with this. We're supposed to ebb and flow, right, with our blood sugar. But if we're spiking and crashing throughout the day, that causes an insulin reaction to that, which also promotes fat storage. And I see this a lot with women going through menopause. They become more insulin resistant as well as we go along, which that causes the issue with that fat storage again. We want those cells to be more permeable. So
we talked about the HTMA analysis that you do. Do you also do blood work that's testing?
No.
No, you don't.
No.
But do you recommend people to where you're working hand in hand with them?
Yes, I do. And I actually can tell what stage, like if you're in perimeno or postmenopausal, what labs would be, most important for you to be looking at getting.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wants to know that, they can reach out to me for sure.
If you're doing the HTMA though, will that show the estrogen and progesterone and all of those levels, or does that have to be done with blood work?
That has to be done with blood work.
So,
or a Dutch test.
Oh, right.
Right.
Do you know what that is?
A Dutch test is actually where you, throughout the day, you will do a urine sample, dry urine sample testing, and then you send that in. You do it for a 24-hour period of time. It will test several things with the hormones, okay, and especially how we're actually breaking down estrogen and the metabolites from that. And it'll see how we're clearing them, okay? Because if we're not clearing them effectively, that could also lead to disease like cancers or stuff like that too. So storing. Dutch is really a good test because it's, it's a dry urine test, and it can kind of look at a 24-hour period.
And that is something we discussed on the show probably 2 years ago. It hasn't been brought up again. So some of you might be saying, I've never heard of that, or I've heard of that. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. If they would want to have that test done, who do they go to for that?
That would be someone like a functional med doctor would be really good to connect with.
Okay.
A lot of them will do those do Dutch testing for sure.
Okay, perfect. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to look at comments and questions coming in from you. Again, Jenny Gabriel, find her on social media, go to her website, and go to the Menopause Belly Secrets page. Get into that because you've got an entire community of women that are saying, oh my gosh, this is happening. What are you all doing? Hey, we need your help, Jenny. And she pops in there for you on a regular basis. There's this, you can scan that QR code to join the Facebook group and then reach out to her for a free 20-minute consultation where she can break things down with you to say, all right, here's what we need to do together, and then take it from there. So you're not living this way anymore. All right. Don't go anywhere. More with Jenny Gabriel when we return. the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
And I don't know about you, but I mentioned this to Beckett earlier. This has been one of the toughest summers to have the pool actually look like that. This is Just Pools, and I will be going there today with another water sample saying, why do I have algae again? It's the heat, it's the crazy rain, so the alkalinity is off, the pH is off. I got in there, I tested, sure enough, our pH was really down. I put a bunch in like a lot of you do, but isn't it frustrating? So if you've got a pool, you're right there with me. If you don't have a pool, I know it sounded like, oh, isn't that a lot of work? No, I mean, it's here and there that you've got to do things, but if you can regularly run those water samples up to Just Pools, again, they are the ones that are truly like chemists and scientists, and they say, oh, it's just this, put this in and you're good to go. Sure enough, it'll get back clear in a matter of a day. So Just Pools, when it's your time to think about putting a pool in your backyard, please trust the incredible experts at Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist located on the West Outer Road in Arnold. There's their phone number, by the way, 636-464-7110. We're talking about menopause and hot flashes, and the pool's a good place to go, Jenny.
Yes,
Jump
it is.
in there. Jenny
Yes, it
Gabriel again, if you're just tuning in with JG Optimal Wellness. And yes, Medical Monday, you're going to see her on with us regularly. She will be on every other Monday. So she's going to want to know, what are the topics that you want to talk about? In fact, there are so many that she discusses in the Facebook group that we'll be taking a lot of those. I even told Jenny we might want to take some of these wonderful testimonials from people who have had their life changed because they've worked with Jenny. So a lot of things to come here over the next several months. Babs just said it. What a great topic. Absolutely. Let me go to some of these and then we'll pop back into what's causing it and what triggers it. And I looked at Jenny's list and I'm like, yep, I can tell when I do this or this, that no matter what, even though I am on a bioidentical cream and a pill, that it still affects it. And so a lot of these things you might be dealing with as well. Julie Fabian said, I need to make an appointment. I'm in the Facebook group. So to make an appointment, their best way to do that is?
Just reach out to me through the contact information that's on the screen. Reach out to me at jenny@jgoptimalwellness.com. Shoot me an email.
There it is. Free assessment call. And there is a QR code, by the way, that you can scan to book. So do that. Don't put it off. Rose said, I'm actually past that stage. The only good part of being old, but after effects of menopause, dry skin, dry hair, dry everything, inner tube around the middle. Jenny, you're correct. It never stops.
Yeah, exactly. Gross. I mean, like, yep. And yes, there are things you can do.
You don't have to be dry. You don't have to feel like you're in the desert.
No, you do not have to be in the Sahara Desert. You do not have to be there.
What do they do if they're experiencing dry eyes, dry this, everything?
Well, actually, I just covered this topic in my Facebook group. So if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you need to jump in because I kind of covered this from a 360 view in there because it's, if you're working with me, I can dial in a lot closer. But from a 360 view in there, I can talk to you about generalities of things that you can look at doing.
Yeah.
But definitely an HTMA test would be really good for her just because it's going to tell me mineral balancing, like what's going on. But for the most part, check out the group because I just did a whole series on it in there.
And do we need to be upping our water intake?
Oh, 100%. Water is huge because, and women are bad about this because what we don't realize what we're not doing, right? Like we think we're drinking enough water and we drink 20 ounces for the day.
Well, you know what I heard? If you, like right now, I do feel like I needed to take a drink. Yeah. That means I am dehydrated.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's just important, guys, to really, stagnate that out throughout the day a little bit. I always tell clients when I meet them, if you're not getting enough water in, you should be drinking half your body weight in water, okay, at minimum, okay? But always shoot for between 80 and 100 ounces. Let's just say that as a generality. Start your morning right off the bat with drinking 15 ounces of water.
15, okay.
And you will put yourself ahead of that curve pretty quickly.
I love that you said that, because with my clients, I always said, first thing, seriously, have it right next to where you're going to brush your teeth. And I would say 8. I like that. So now we're almost doubling it.
Yeah.
Get that in and you're well on your way.
Yeah.
Hydration. Okay, this is funny. Julie said, do you know the Muffin man or woman? Exactly. Sherry, there isn't enough info out there on menopause, and some doctors make me feel like I'm overreacting. Thank you for talking about this, Jenny. My mom was my source of information. Her advice on hot flashes was to tell yourself out loud that you will sweat and then it will cool you off. It helps with anxiety. So speaking it out loud. Good luck with that.
Okay, well, first, you got to figure out why you're having those hot flashes, and what causes hot flashes are typically triggered by some of the foods we're eating.
Yes.
But so does stress, and so does blood sugar dysregulation. Okay. When you're spiking and crashing, like we talked before, that it can cause the hot flashes to happen. But estrogen drops also have a part to do with that. All right. So foods like a lot of processed foods, sugars, alcohols. I've even seen people that with spicy foods have trouble with hot flashes.
Yes. So I saw that in your list, and I thought this is interesting because I eat the hotter the better. Anybody that knows me I love spicy food. I also love red wine.
I was there too, but I've shifted because of how much trouble I was having with that.
See, and I love red wine. And then people are like, well, maybe drink. But to me, the sugars in white, I would think would make it worse.
Are you drinking sweet or dry?
No, dry.
Okay.
I drink dry red wine, and I'll go out with friends and I'll be like, okay, but I have it's interesting because I will watch and I can tell when people are approaching menopause or in menopause. I will see what they switch to. Oh, maybe I have a vodka and a club soda. I can't have red wine anymore, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to have to deal with the symptoms because I like red wine and I like spicy food. But if you're eating, and this is what I have found, like my husband sometimes will love to go out to dinner late, and I was like, I'm going to deal with this.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't be eating late.
That's huge.
Watching our intake of sugars, watching our alcohol intake, caffeine intake, right?
Caffeine, you really want to, I like to say 12, but I grace till about 2 p.m. You don't really want to consume it after 2 p.m.
Okay. There you go.
100%. So
that's again,
the quick tip, don't consume after 2.
So I know everybody's body chemistry is different. Is it possible that some people have worse symptoms than others with regards to the things we're talking about? Other people are like, I can have spicy food and red wine.
100%.
Okay.
There'll be people that won't have any or very little or not even know and, just sail through the menopause. And I know all of you are going, no,
right.
That's so unfair.
My mom's one of them, Jenny. My mom said, honey, I hate that you all are going, I didn't go through any of this. And so it made me go back to what you and I talked about, which is, okay, think about my mom is 30 something years older than me. They didn't have all the injection of hormones that are in our foods back
100%.
then. And that's why I think the difference.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the toxicity that we're consuming. Okay. Whether it be food, product, whatever that is.
Right.
It's there.
So this is interesting, and I don't know because there's incredible male doctors out there. I love my OBGYN, but there's a lot of women saying, hey, do you have a male GYN? Right? I don't have a male any longer. Women primary care as well now. Somebody said I'm not being sexist or mean. I just think women get it more. Good morning, Sunny. You new to the show. Thank you for tuning in. I get it because we're thinking, well, female OBGYN, you'll get it because you are a female. But there's a lot of incredible male doctors out there. But I think sometimes they just see that extra part when they are dismissed, that they think that a woman wouldn't dismiss them, that they would hear them out more. What are your thoughts, Ben? Because you've been working in this industry for a while now.
I think it can happen both ways.
Okay, see?
Honestly. And you really got to find the person that's right for you. I'm kind of like you. I love my OBGYN, and he's a male, and he's amazing. And he listens, but that's not the case. And I understand that. So I hear you. I do hear you all very much. And it's really hard to find that person. And whether it's a male or a female, yes, females would get it more than males do.
Yeah.
But I've also had clients that have had female GYNs discredit them.
Right.
Just like, well, you just need to suck it up, buttercup.
Are they maybe older female physicians?
That I didn't ask.
Yeah, this would be an interesting step. Well, let me ask all of you that have female OBGYNs. Are they older and dismissing it because they think that they didn't have to deal with that? I don't know. Dry wine is the best, Rose says. Chardonnay, Monica. My grandma
Yeah.
drank red wine, always lived till 94. Now red wine is getting a bad rep. You know what? It just depends on what you read, because other people talk about resveratrol and that it's great for us.
Yeah, it's got a lot of polyphenols in it, so I don't know.
Exactly. So, but if we are going to do it, maybe you do it in moderation.
Yes.
Or if you really truly do have a body that is triggered so much, unless you're wanting to deal with all those symptoms, you probably have to pull back on that, right?
Right. And I think my perfect storm was there was a lot of stress. And I think I shared that on the last show where we were moving, I was empty nesting, and then I just couldn't do the red wine or the spice. I couldn't do the combination of all those things because stress, I wanted to touch on this, because stress can also cause the hot flashes to be worse. I know that sounds crazy, but stress spikes cortisol. And there's a direct correlation with cortisol and hot flashes and estrogen drops. So
I love this next slide. And I just remember being in news interviewing a doctor, and he was talking about sleep disruption. He was talking about how you'll put on weight if you're not getting enough sleep. So again, does the sleep get worse? If you're not sleeping like you're supposed to, and a lot of women are like, well, I can't sleep because I'm having hot flashes. Why can't we stay asleep?
Well, it's the estrogen and progesterone levels are changing. Okay, they're dropping. And that's what causes a lot of that sleep disturbance stuff to start to happen. It's because those are dropping, and those are things that help regulate sleep. So when those drop, we can't really get into that deep quality sleep that we're used to getting into, that REM sleep. And I tell clients, if you've got a tracker and you wear it at night, you should be getting 2 hours of REM sleep every night. Yeah.
How many of you are getting that, right? Because here's the thing. I think so many women are absolutely exhausted from so many things that they're dealing with in the day that they might fall asleep right away, but they're not staying in it.
And so what happens is in the middle of the night, or 2 a.m., 2 to 4 a.m., I call it the witching hour, because it's when the cortisol spikes.
Okay.
And when cortisol spikes at that time, that causes us to wake up too. All right. It's that adrenaline fluctuation that happens. So making sure that you're managing stress is so key. And some people tell me, I don't have stress. I don't have stress, Jenny. I don't have stress. Oh, really? Okay, then let's talk about the internal stress that you have going on. We always look at stress as an external thing. That's another whole show.
But do you know what? Here's what I think. Tell me if you agree with this. I believe that women don't even recognize the stress because they are in such a go, taking care of everybody else but themselves, that they don't realize that they have stress until they remove the stress and realize, oh my gosh, I was really full blown into it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I've had women that have come to me that were in either a bad work relationship or a personal relationship, and they remove themselves from that. And it was like 360-degree turn.
So what do you tell them to do to try to remove stress from their lives? Because I know what I suggest with training and life coaching, but what steps would you tell them to take to remove stress, to sleep better, to, again, try to get rid of all these symptoms that we're talking about with regards to hot flashes, the menopause belly, et cetera? They're looking for all those answers from you.
Right. And it's very complex too, but yet not. I mean, there's simple things we can do. Grounding's a great thing. First morning early light is a really good thing. That red light in the morning, first thing in the morning, if you can get out, walk even 10 minutes and see that red light rising. When I was driving into the studio this morning, it was beautiful. And don't wear sunglasses. Let it come through the eyes, because that helps reset the circadian rhythm, which is part of the sleep rhythm. Okay. Another great time to do that is in the evening as the sun is setting. You'll see that red light again.
Okay.
Another thing, don't wear the sunglasses. Let that red light penetrate the eyes. That's going to help with that sleep rhythm again too.
Is that on the same lines of red light therapy?
Yeah, very similar, except this is more natural, right? We're not having to sit in front of the lights. We're actually getting it from our nature.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, right? Super easy. It's something super simple trick.
Well, and that's another good point that we're talking about. Women are looking for all of these ideas from you, but do we do them all at once, or do we need to start taking steps so we don't get overwhelmed?
I always say taking steps. And so when someone comes to me, I want to meet them where they're at, Monica. I want them to know that they're being seen, heard, and supported. And so I want to know what they're capable of doing, because the last thing I want to do is step in, overwhelm them, and cause additional stress.
Right.
When you've already got somebody that's already maxed out, right?
Right.
So it's about meeting them where they are, coming up with what they can implement first. And usually that's just one or two things, two or three things that we'll put together, whether it be a nutrition or whether it be a lifestyle thing.
Well, let's do this. I'm going to take a break. Let's talk about the nutrition side, Jenny, because when women are going through this, and again, I don't want to say just women, men, you are also experiencing some of these symptoms and you're having these crazy cravings, right? How do you break the cravings? I'm going to ask that question. And your questions. Anything else you want to pop in here for us? If you watch later, just do a little hashtag replay and I'll make sure that Jenny sees your comments as well. More importantly, there's your QR code for a free assessment call and join the Facebook group. Okay. This is where all the help is. And this is where the community is that is experiencing the same things that you are. More with Jenny and what we should be eating and how we can break those cravings when we return.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah, it's that simple, by the way. A lot of you are like, where are you on YouTube? There you go. It is literally typing in The Real Monica Adams. It'll take you to the page, but you need to hit subscribe so you actually get notified when we're going on live. Even if you're on my Facebook page, I highly recommend you subscribe to YouTube as well, because sometimes we put some fun shorts on there you've never seen before, special content maybe you've never seen before. So there's a reason why you want to be on both pages. So follow Facebook, subscribe to YouTube. Welcome back. Again, Jenny Gabriel, our guest from JG Optimal Wellness. We're talking about a lot of things. Feel free to ask any questions, make any comments. There are a lot of people talking about stress. Rose said stress is the devil, ladies. It causes bad things. She also wanted to know, Jenny, do you take supplements?
I do.
And which ones?
Oh boy. Depends on what you're wanting to know about. I don't,
So what supplements do you think are beneficial for menopause symptoms?
It really depends on the person, but
So this is why they'd have to have that
yeah.
test. Okay.
But in generalities, I think magnesium glycinates are really good for evening, because that's going to help calm you down. It's going to help relax you, help with that sleep part. That one's an excellent one, but I would make sure it's chelated. Okay. It's a magnesium.
That means what?
Chelated. You want it a chelated form, and it'll say it on the bottle that it's chelated.
Okay.
That'll be the best form to get.
Okay.
I'm kind of a supplement snob, I'll be honest with you, because a lot of times the quality of them are not necessarily what you're taking, right? If you're taking something you don't know what's in it, it's like pixie dust. Like most of it has filler. I can tell by the label if it's mostly filler and just a little bit of pixie dust, and the pixie dust is what you really are buying it for.
So where should we go? And are there actual ones that you would tell us to go to?
Yeah, there are. With my clients, I use a full script dispensary, which there are all practitioner grade level supplementation. So if somebody just wanted to go into a supplementation consultation call with me, they could do that.
Okay.
Where I could review what they have, make recommendations based upon, what brands that they're using.
No, I think this is great, because that has actually come up before, and people will ask me, are there better protein powders that I should take than others? Absolutely, and it is the way it's made.
Yes, it is. It's 100%. It's about the cleanliness of the product. When I have someone doing HTMA, typically I use a lab that makes it organically. So everything is done organically. So when they would make your vitamin mineral, they would do yours, then clean the lab, then do Jenny's, and then clean the lab, so we don't have cross-contamination either.
Love it.
And it actually comes with your name on the container. It has Monica's vitamin supplement.
So people can ask, hey, she just talked about this supplement call. They can do that with you, right? They can
supplementation consultation.
Yeah, consultation.
Yeah.
Okay.
If someone just wants that review, sure.
Julie just said, I have my call with Jenny tomorrow morning. I will try really hard to get my last blood work together. Okay, absolutely do that. Rose said that she gets tired just watching all the things that we do. Okay, solutions to support fat loss. Stabilize your blood sugar. So this is interesting of a breakdown that I want to talk about. So this S4 model that you have.
Yeah.
Shake, salad, snack, starch. Go
Right.
through that.
Okay, so this is what I use with my clients. Actually, I do a couple different variations, but this one I use primarily if I, in the beginning, or if I see someone that's not moving the direction I want them to. But it's a good solid protein shake. It doesn't need to have a lot of added stuff in it, right? We're just talking about a good, clean, quality protein shake in the morning. And then at lunch, we're going to do a salad. Now, that salad can be a regular salad. Which everybody's like, oh, I don't want to eat salad. I want
Oh, I
salad
love
all the time.
salads.
But what I'm saying is it can be a salad, or it could be a sandwich that is a salad, which means you take the bun off and you have a lettuce, tomato, onion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so don't look at it as always, I'm saying you all, don't look at it as always being a salad.
Okay.
You're going to make it either out of a sandwich without the bread, okay, or you're going to make an actual salad. But
Okay.
it should always have a good protein on it, okay?
Yes.
And then a snack in the afternoon, which is going to be a protein and a good carb. I always say don't eat a carb naked. Okay, make sure it has clothes on it. And when I say that, I know that's funny, right? Put clothes on it. Put a protein or fat with it, and then
No naked carbs.
no naked carbs.
You streakers.
And then at supper or your dinner meal is going to be protein, good fiber. It's going to be a starch. This is where you're going to bring that starch in, okay? That heavier starch, like a complex carb, like a potato or a sweet potato.
But here's my question about that. So if people are looking at this, it's all about timing. And I love the fact, I remember Suzanne Summers talking about how we eat. She actually got women talking about menopause forever ago, and I thank her for that. But she also talked about how we're pairing our foods together.
Oh, 100%.
And this is exactly on the lines of what Jenny's mentioning. So shake, salad, snack, starch, but not eating that an hour before you go to bed.
Correct.
I want you to
need to
be
not
stressing
eat
that.
2 hours before bed.
2 hours. Okay.
One, because it's a strain on digestion, but it's also plays havoc on your sleep and your blood sugar regulation at night.
Yep. And those are the things that are contributing to our belly fat.
And the hot flashes and the sleep disturbances. They're all interconnected.
This dang cycle. So again, some solutions. Strength training, obviously. This is where
100%.
she and you are also a personal trainer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the importance, and especially as women are getting older, you need to pick up a weight or use body weight resistance.
100%.
You can't just be doing, I know you're all cardio queens out there, but when we talk about bone loss, right? We talk about osteopenia, osteoporosis. You've got to do resistance training.
Yes, 100%. It has to happen. And then just adding in with that, what I would say walking, because we should all be getting about 10,000 steps a day. And if some of you aren't not getting that, then we need to start where you're at, okay, and gradually move that up so that you're getting 10,000 steps.
Yeah, your S3 model is stress, strides, strength.
Yeah.
Removing the stress, getting in our walk and working out.
Absolutely.
Liver and lymph support.
Oh, yes. Lemon in your water. Okay. When I do the blend for the mineral powder, I usually put stuff in there to support liver too. Or if I'm working with a client, most women going through menopause need liver support. So beets are really good if you just want to eat a vegetable that's really good. Dandelion, a tea, roots are good. Those type of things you want to bring into your diet because they're going to help with helping that liver detoxification happen. If your liver is not detoxing, then we're not breaking down the metabolites from estrogen. Okay, even though we're not maybe producing a lot of estrogen, if you're not breaking them down, that's kind of a big deal because it can lead to disease. But also, if you're on medications, guys, that's a lot of burden on the liver. So we need to really be supporting the liver because it's one of the major filtration systems outside of the kidneys and the body. Everything goes through there.
When we're cleaning up the way we're eating, and again, trying to help all these symptoms that people have been dealing with, are there better vegetables than others?
Yes, cruciferous vegetables.
Okay.
But now if you've got goiter disease or you've had an issue with a thyroid being taken out or partial out or whatever, you cannot eat those raw. They have to be cooked.
Okay. And those would be which vegetables?
You know, like any of the cruciferous, like you've got cauliflower, you got broccoli, you've got
Those should be cooked for them if
cabbage.
they are.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you don't have a thyroid or you've had a partial thyroid removal, that can cause a goiter issue for them, and so they need to make sure that they're cooked. Don't eat them raw.
Are root vegetables better for us?
Oh yes, roots are good. They're kind of a nightshade type of vegetable. I like to use those. They're more of a complex carbohydrate, so that's where I would add that actually in your dinner, supper meal.
And then pair it with proteins.
Pair it with protein, pair it with some good fat.
Do you find, I do, but again, it might just be my body. Do you find that if people eat more red meat, that also causes some symptoms of menopause? Or is it just the body not wanting it from a digestive standpoint?
It's a digestion thing.
Okay. Yeah, my body
honestly.
doesn't like red meat.
Yeah.
And but I'm okay with that. I'll eat a filet mignon if I'll really, really lean. Again, I'm looking for leaner protein sources.
Yeah.
But I wondered that because maybe though it's not that, maybe it's because I'm pairing red wine with it. We're getting honest
There
here.
goes that red wine again.
So again, sleep disruption contributors, wine or sugar in the evening, heavy dinners late at night. Again, we're kind of recapping some of the things that maybe you didn't hear earlier. Also, this thing that I have in my lap right here, Jenny, we haven't talked about blue light issues.
Yeah. Okay. So my son was just home this weekend from Iowa City, and we need to update his phone. And what I was really glad to see is they now have the new screen covers that
good.
that have blue light protection.
Perfect.
Right? And I think that will help. But I will tell you, ladies, gentlemen, the phones are causing a lot of stress for us.
Yep.
Because we're scanning them, and and subconsciously we're comparing. Even though we don't think we're comparing subconsciously to ourselves, whatever it is. And so, screen time, really try to limit your screen time, set it down. Don't sleep by your bedside. And that's hard for a lot of people. I made that transition about 5 years ago, and I started putting it in the bathroom and just leaving it plugged in there.
Because there really is an addiction to this.
There's an addiction to it. And then it's also the EFTs that come off of that, which cause disruption in sleep as well. But that's also toxicity.
Right.
Another, issue
So put it in the bathroom, have a very loud alarm in it. So it does still wake you up.
Right?
Yes. And you got to get up because she wants you to have movement and strides.
That's right.
Walk. Don't have sedentary lifestyle is not good. All these things that we're talking about with the muffin top, right? The menopause belly. I asked about cravings when we went into the break. So what are the things that we can do to start breaking that? Because we've got the spikes and the highs and the lows of blood sugar, and people are like, why am I just ravenously wanting to eat sugar or salt?
Well, that tells me a little bit about adrenal and digestion immediately when you say that.
Okay.
If someone's craving a lot of salt, that's an adrenal gland insufficiency that's going on. And then if somebody's craving a lot of sugary stuff, usually that's digestion.
Okay. And we would see these things in the HTMA analysis that you do?
Yeah, I would, yes.
Yeah. So again, I keep going back to that, but I really think that's going to be an aha moment for you. You have that done, and she's going to say, well, this is why.
Yeah.
And then she's going to start being able to take steps of that. Functional testing again, that she can do. There's a lot of things, but everybody's different. That's why you set up these calls with her, because whatever she finds with me is not the same of somebody else. And that's how you go at it with them. Like, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, that's one component along with the nutritional assessment questionnaire. The two of those combined give a very directive path.
So we want you to sleep better. Again, we want you to try to eliminate stress. I'm very big on meditation. I'm big on journaling.
Agree.
I'm big on removing toxic people from your life.
Yes. I always tell my clients, I had someone just the other day say, well, this is going on, la, la, la. And I'm like, you know what? Surround yourself with the people that are going to fill your cup.
Right.
Don't give them the straw to suck the life out of you.
Amen.
Cut the straw and quit letting people poke holes in your cup.
Love it. Drop the mic on that. But it's true. And that is how you start to remove the stress. You get the aha moment of the lifestyle changes.
Yes.
And again, sometimes people are like, I hate my job. You start removing all these things that cause stress and toxicity, and then watch how the body changes.
Oh,
so many
100%.
aspects of the body
Well,
changing.
the stress alone.
Yes.
And the cortisol levels go down.
We're talking about cortisol. We're talking about, again, how you improve your sleep naturally. Again, balancing your blood sugar throughout the day.
Yep.
She talked about magnesium, calming support. I think I asked you last time, are you a fan of kava?
I am a fan of kava.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe look into that. As we talked about supplementations earlier.
I like maca. I like
maca too, yeah.
ashwagandha.
Yep.
The only thing with some of these herbal type things is if you're on blood pressure medications, stuff like that, sometimes those don't agree. So just make sure if you are doing that, you check with your physician, or if you're working with someone like me that's a nutritional therapy practitioner, we can actually see if that's going to cause an issue for you by looking at the contraindications to their medications versus a herbal.
All right. And again, things that make our hot flashes and our night sweats worse: inflammation, the blood sugar crashes, your stress spiking, your sleep deprivation. So we talked a little bit about some of the things that help calm it. Again, maca, evening primrose oil.
Yes.
And B6.
Yes. And I will tell you, evening primrose oil is really good for women too, that especially perimenopausal women that are having sore breasts.
Oh, okay.
In that cycle.
Okay.
Evening primrose oil will help that a lot.
And you heard me say I love meditation, also learning breathing patterns.
Oh, breathing's huge. I actually do 2 different things with my clients to help with stress relation. One is an eye scanning movement, and the other one is what the Navy SEALs use for breathing.
Oh,
I use both techniques with my clients.
Eye scanning movement. Again, these are all the things that she'll work with you on when you work with her one-on-one. Keeping the bedroom cool. I literally brought a fan in here today because it's so hot in the studio. So keeping the bedroom cool and layer clothes.
Yes. Yeah.
Strip them off.
That's right.
Back on.
Well, I'm all about, Greg sleeping in the parka next to me while I'm sitting over there. With not much on.
And then the thermostat. Kick the foot out.
And my ceiling fan's going and the temperature set on like 67.
It's crazy. I mean, these are the things that we deal with. Hydration we mentioned earlier. And what are your thoughts on electrolytes?
I think electrolytes are huge. I use them a lot with my clients. In generalities, I really like Ultima. They don't have a wacky taste to them. They've got a lot of variety to choose from, but I always think everybody should at least do 1 glass with
daily
electrolytes. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
because we're all deficient.
Okay. I found that out Saturday night. We were on our way home from a friend's house, and I was like, Jim, stop at the gas station. I want some water. And he goes, get some electrolyte. And sure enough, it was Electrolyte was the brand, and it was cucumber. It tasted amazing, by the way. It was a cucumber lime. So yeah. So see, somebody just said it, and I agree. Jenny is a wealth of information. I love her. Already they have fallen in love with you. I told you.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone's saying, you know your stuff. You're amazing. Thank you, Jenny, across the board. Yes, go, go, go. We have so much more to talk about in the coming weeks. And again, we want to tell you, if you didn't hear in the beginning, that she is now a part of our team. So welcome her aboard, as you already have. Get your consultation. So yes, Medical Monday with Jenny Gabriel. Every other Monday, she will be with us. And so what I want you to do is start loading up. What are the questions that you have for her? What topics do you want us to cover? Get into her Facebook group. I can't stress that enough. And then find out how you can get that call with her. So Menopause Belly Secrets, scan that to join the Facebook group. And then here's all the information for Jenny. Jenny at jgoptimalwellness.com. You can go to JG Optimal Wellness on the web or find her on social media. As I said, get into the group though, and then from that, break out, because we're all so very different. So if in fact you say, oh, my friend was able to do this with Jenny, that doesn't mean that's what she's going to do with you. So she's got to figure out what is best for you. Let me see this last one. I think I just saw it come in. Oh, I can't see. It's not on here. Did that say it from Sindra? Sindra, hello. I can't see what what her comment says. It's not on my phone, unfortunately. But all of you that are popping in your questions and comments, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Feel free to save those for the next time she's on, which will be in 2 weeks. Welcome all of you aboard. And again, we know it is a very hot topic that is everywhere. But as Jenny mentioned in the beginning, there are a lot of people on social media putting things out there. What they're telling you is not necessarily factual. What she's telling you is. So that's why you want to join right here. You're fantastic, Jenny. What's the faith devotional we're feeling today? So, stress?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Depression, stress. Oh, no, I'm sorry. See, I think there should be a stress one, which might be.
There's not a stress
There's
one.
not, darn it. Fear and anxiety, anger, overeating, shame, or depression.
Let's
They're
do
all
overeating.
stress. Oh,
this
yeah.
time.
Overeating's a good one. Okay. We're going to take our final break, and we want to tell you about our Mobile Monica coming up on August 27th. We'll mention that, and we'll do our faith devotional when we return.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here, we help you feel good, feel strong, feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
And welcome back. I just went up to the screen to see what Sindra said because it didn't pop up on my messaging, unfortunately. She said, phenomenal information. Yes, I agree. And Sindra, and on to all of you, be sure to tune in 2 weeks when she'll be back on with us again. Rose is hilarious and silly. So Gabriel is being our moderator today, dropping in a bunch of information and interacting with all of you. And she said, good thing that Jenny is not your mother because you'd be Gabriel. So silly. Oh, I love silliness. Okay, 100 Days of Freedom from Overeating. These books, by the way, are from Stephen Arterburn, our daily devotionals. And today is Shame is a Prison. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. John 10, verse 27. So on this journey to become free from overeating, it can be easy to fall into feelings of shame. The enemy wants to remind us that we are never going to measure up, that we should label ourselves as failures, and that we should believe that we are not worth fighting for. Nothing could be further from the truth. The devil will remind us of all the things we've done wrong or the ways we've been wronged and deserve to stay angry or hurt, trying his hardest to interfere with our progress and carefully design traps for us to fall into. He'll try to destroy our destiny by maligning our sense of purpose, as well as getting us to disbelieve that God desires our good. The evil one will try to keep us isolated so that we hide the places that we're ashamed of and continue to feel more and more alone. The devil wants us to be kept in a cage, so we forget the promises of God and who his son is. We must cling to the truth of the word of God and firmly believe his promises. God will never steer us wrong. Here's one comment from Stephen Arterburn and David Stoop. Toxic shame undermines our will and our power to stand up for ourselves. And we just talked about toxicity. That's a good one to leave you with. And here's a prayer. Jesus, thank you for saving me from shame and from the grave. I pray that I will hear your voice, listen to you, and believe the truth about who you say that I am. Give me assurance and strength to walk in your love, your truth, and your purpose, protecting me from the evil one. And again, I think there's a lot of people, Jenny, that shame themselves, that are going through the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause. And they're like, why am I eating all of this food? It's not your fault. Right. And the greatest thing that we can be getting across to you today is you don't have to continue to live this way.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the biggest
100%.
thing we want you to understand. We said it 2 weeks ago. We'll say it every time that she's on. Do not stay in this place of feeling miserable.
Agree,
So
100%.
we've got so much more to talk about. I keep hitting this and I want to. This right here, Made Amish. The Amish furniture that they have at Miller Furniture is absolutely the best. So Mark brought these in for us when he came in just a week or so ago. And these are these sofa servers. And they're lightweight, by the way, but they're so sturdily made. We've got a couple of them in here, and it actually streamlined my entire set. I was like, oh, I got more room now, and it's exactly what I needed. So you can get these and all of your furniture from Miller Furniture. They've got the sale, as you can see, that is going on right now. You can get 6 months free, sales tax free, or you can do your financing for 60 months, actually. Free financing from Miller Furniture. Go in, see them at any of their locations. They have 4, but we're going to this one, the Fairview Heights location, on August 27th. It will be a mobile Monica at 11 o'clock in the morning. A lot of you have been saying that you need furniture and said, I'm so glad to hear about Miller Furniture. I would love to support them. Yes, support those that support us. We'd love to see you there that day if you can come in. If not, watch the show, find out more about the great things that they have for you. And then when it's your time to buy furniture, support Miller Furniture. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Jenny, thank you so much for coming in. As always, a wealth of knowledge and fun. We laughed together,
Yes,
and we
that's
got
right.
educated. Tomorrow, I can't wait to bring him back in. He's known as Mr. Fresh. Have you seen him?
I have not.
Okay, he's a young entrepreneur that all of the TV stations have done a story on. So my young interns that are in their 17 age range, I can't wait for them to go, wow, this kid's 15 and he's this incredible entrepreneur. So he's known as Mr. Fresh, and he now has just gotten into Walmart. He's also in, I think it's Mobile on the Run. He's got 3 locations that he's in, but it's a car scent that he developed. He told his mom when he was young, I want to open up a whole car dealership. And she was like, okay, well, that's not happening right now. And he's like, if I'm not going to do that, then what can I do? Well, he wanted your cars to smell amazing. And then he's got these pet products. When the dogs come in, they smell incredible. You wipe the dogs off. So many products that he continues to develop. Yeah. And he's only 15, maybe he's 16. I'll have to find out how. But again, remember what you were doing at 15 years old. He is well on his way. And I just wanted to follow up because we haven't seen him in about a year and a half. He was at the Working Women show and I said, you got to come back on. So he is. He will be here tomorrow and he's got some great news for us and some breaking news about other things. But he literally just launched in Walmart's just a few weeks ago. And so we'll show you all about that. Mr. Fresh, I know you love him. When last time you saw him, if you're new to the show, you've never seen him before, he will light you up and you're going to sit there and go home to your kids going, all right, slackers, get out here and do this. So that's tomorrow morning. Cannot wait for that. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And be sure to follow Jenny and then see her back on the show in just a couple of weeks. Love you all dearly. Remember what we always ask you to do. The greatest thing you can do is to be kind. God bless you all.